Hey YouTube, how do I get model releases for stock video? One of the most important things about stock video is getting a model or property release. And a lot of people have asked me, how do I go about getting models for stock and getting releases? So I'm going to go over that just a little bit today, and at the end of this video I'm going to attach a video I did on using a mobile app to get model releases for stock. So if you want to watch that, you are free to as well. You need to start with a few people that you know that don't mind being models, and the reason I say that is you need to tell them what stock is about, how it can be used commercially, how they could see themselves on TV, because they likely can, and if you shoot a good clip, most likely will see themselves on TV or on YouTube or on a billboard sign, whatever it may be. So first off, you need to make sure your model is fine with that. And there's probably a few people in your family that don't mind modeling for you or being public models for you. You know, most of the time a model on TV is only on video for about 3 seconds at the most. So you can tell someone that to put them at ease. You can also say to them, hey, you know, it's actually more controlled than social media. So if you have your picture on Facebook, there's actually less control over that on a video clip than there is on stock media. There's more restrictions on buying stock than there is with your content being on Facebook. So if someone's on social media, that's another good angle to work with them. Now, how do you get them? I use Model Mayhem quite a bit when I'm looking for models, and it's www.modelmayhem.com, M-O-D-E-L, mayhem, M-A-Y-H-E-M.com. And you can go through there and look in your area to find models, and you can search ages, and you can go on the site and check it out yourself, but that's a really good place to start. Another thing to do is to go into a business that you want to film and offer them the footage in return for model releases. And of course you explain to them what you use it for in return for model releases, and then you can give them the footage and then you can use it as stock. And then you don't have to charge the business anything to get really high quality B-roll. Now that's a little trick that you can use for high-end type shoots, where you want to get someone on the job, someone working, and where you can give value back to somebody and actually create a relationship with that. You sometimes on the street, the best way to approach someone, if you see someone, you're like, man, I'd love to film that for stock. You go up and say, hey, listen, I'm a stock video producer and I would love to shoot you drilling a well with your rig. Do you mind signing a model release and let me use that for commercial use? And ask someone a favor, because most people want to respond positively to you, and they usually will if you ask them a favor. If they say, no, I'm not interested, just move on. Say, thank you. Thank you for considering it. I just thought it'd be a good idea, and just move on. Don't let that deter you from asking someone else again. Because if you go that route, you're bound to get a couple no's. I know a guy on stock, that's all he did was approach people in public and ask them to sign model releases so he could shoot them, and he built a huge portfolio. You got to have a little bit of guts to go about it that way, but you certainly can do it. And there are certainly personalities out there that will do it. I've done it on a couple of occasions, but I generally stick with Model Mayhem businesses. I generally stick with trading something of value for something else. I try to work with people now that I don't know as much within my close circle, but you know, I don't mind asking if I want to use the material. So these are just a couple of tips that you can use to find models for stock video. You know, get your releases done. The same thing applies for property releases. And when you need a property release, you need one for your house. If you're showing most of the room, if you're showing your house, if you're showing all the outside, you need to sign a property release for your home. And that will actually be of value and make the clip a lot more commercially viable. So any kind of building that you actually show a lot of the building, show a lot of a room, if you're going to work in a place like that, you need property releases. And when you're out in public, again, public places, not in a private building, you don't have to worry about getting a property release. And a lot of times in public buildings, if you're just showing a corner of it or just an area of it, you don't have to worry about getting a property release for that. It's when someone can recognize the building. Now, A lot of agencies, you don't need a model release if you're showing a whole city, and even if a logo appears. If there's lots of logos and you're at a wide angle, you don't have to worry about getting property releases for all of that either. So it's really kind of common sense. The same goes with people in big crowds. If you're shooting a big crowd and you're far away from the crowd where you can't really pick out one face over the other, you don't need a model release for that either. However, if it's a small group of people and you can pick out a face, it's going to get rejected. It's going to go editorial, or it's not commercially viable. So I hope these tips were helpful, and stay tuned. You can watch the video here at the end to see how to use a model release app on your mobile phone. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hello everyone, today I'm going to go over the Easy Release app on your phone. So you can literally shoot stock with your phone and get model releases at the same time. You're going to see it here at the bottom. I'm going to tap on Easy Release, and the first thing I want you to look down is the bottom right hand corner. There's a little gear icon. I'm going to tap on the gear icon, and when you open this up, I'm going to scroll down here and you'll see Pro Packs Advanced Customization. That's a extra purchase, and I recommend you purchase that. And the reason is, if you look under branding for PDF header here at the top, you can tap on that and you can put in the black box branding for the release. And so you'll see I have black box and then www.blackbox.global, and that's how they have it on their release. And how you do that is you just hit the plus icon, you put that information in, hit done, and then that will be on your model release. So I'm going to go back here a little bit, and I'm going to go back to the beginning and walk you through the wizard of actually getting a release done on your phone. So you're going to hit plus and you're going to hit model or property. Now these are set up for 18 years and above models. If you have children, it might be easier just to shoot the paper release. I'll go through that on another video on how to get model releases from minors. But this is not for minors, this is 18-year-olds and above. So just tap model and make a shoot name. You can tap home, you can label it whatever you want, or there we go, whatever you want on your phone, and hit next. And this is a shoot country, which you want to do correctly. United States for me. And then shoot region, you can do your state, NC, okay? And then your shoot date, which you would, today's date's fine, you could set a shoot date and hit next. And then the model's name, so happy face. Okay, and then we're going to hit next. And then Joy, the street, this is the model's address. Joy, city, glad, state, SS, zip. Zip would be whatever you want it, and country again. You even spelled it wrong. Okay. Then you hit next when you're done filling out the address, and you hit in their email address. So it'd be let's see, joy@gmail.com. Don't use that. It probably is somebody's email address, and then the phone number, and you put in the phone number, okay? Next, again, you put in the date of birth of the model, and that's easy. You can scroll on any month, on any day, and you can scroll on any year. Now, it goes all the way back here. I mean, we're at 1592, and I will guarantee no one's alive from 1592, so make sure you set the right date here. I think it should be a little tighter, but whatever is the case, make sure you, even in the 1800s, I don't think we'll be seeing anybody from the 1800s. So pick a date, and then for the model's birth date, hit next. You can hit unspecified or male or female here. Let's just pick male. And this is great. You can take their picture, which I highly recommend you doing. It's good authenticity for the release. I'm going to tap that and use photo. And now the witness's name. And all you need is the name here. So let's say Gladys, okay? Gladys Mitchell. And we're going to hit next here in the right hand corner. It says ready to sign. This is good stuff. So we scroll down here. You're done, getting the release done. So the model's going to sign, and you're going to scroll down to the bottom because they can read all this, and you can even tell them. You can go ahead and read it. Tap here to agree. Now if you turn your phone in landscape mode, it's a little easier. I just can't because it'll crash the software. So Happy Face is going to sign. Okay, and then done. And then your witness can also sign here, and they're looking there, and they tap here to agree, and they put Gladys Mitchell. And of course I'm not doing much there as far as a viable signature. Now you're done filling out the release. Fantastic. Boom, you can start shooting. Ready to send. You can send it to me. You'll see right here everything looks like it's ready to go. Tap in the upper right hand corner and tap email. You can send it to you both, whatever. Just tap you, and you can put in my email address or your email address and forward it to me later, and I will be able to add your model release in for your stock clips if you have modeled clips. So I hope this was clear. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and we will see you in the next training video.